All right, guys, we are back with part 2 of the KINETIQ 4x4 BYD Shark 6 build here at Prestige Tyre and Auto in Marrickville, Sydney. Now, today's video is going to be showing you all the products that we supply and install for customers for BYD Shark. So we're going to be doing a variety of different things. This is mainly to get the car more off-road ready, a bit more ready for adventure. And I'm going to run through some pros and cons of certain products and different things we're going to be installing, and explain to you why we've chosen these amazing Method wheels and Yokohama tyre combo as well, and where we sort of sit in the size hierarchy from going from standard all the way up to sort of a 35-inch and what impacts that has as well. So a quick overview of what we've been doing. Top Rhino lift kit, 2-inch lift kit. We'll be doing the Axiom coolant plate protector for the coolant lines underneath when you're off-road. Top Rhino upper control arms, and a wheel and tyre package along with a full underbody protection. So more underbody protection than what you get from factory. It actually covers additional parts of the car as well. So Mike's already ripping into the lift kit now. So I'm going to go through the stages. I'm going to show you what we're doing and we're going to explain why we're doing it. All right, so we've got the suspension and the top control arm fitted into the vehicle. Now this is our factory control arm here in my hand. That's been replaced by the Top Rhino upper control arms. Now the reason that we do upper control arms when we're doing a lift kit is to fix the suspension geometry and make sure that the geometry is 100% correct. So these have an inbuilt camber caster correction. Now they're also adjustable at the back end here for your camber. They can be wound in and out to make sure that we get the alignment absolutely perfect. They're a billet alloy product, and they've got a greasable ball joint under this cap here as well. So lots of benefits to pairing that with a Top Rhino suspension. Like all suspension lifts that we do, we want to make sure that we pair them up perfectly. Some people decide to lift vehicles and not use an upper control arm, and depending on the type of car, we find that it can definitely affect the performance of that. So we always like to pair a top arm with a camber caster correction for your additional height you're now going to have with the lift kit, to make sure that it matches the shock as well. We're doing a 2-inch lift in this vehicle, so if we didn't do arms, it wouldn't be a major issue, but we like to have the adjustability so that we can get the alignment absolutely spot on. If you were to lift it higher than 2 inches, which there's not many Sharks out there doing that, because you run into the risk of damaging on CV joints and it becoming unreliable, you definitely need upper control arms to get the amount of adjustment that you need to get the geometry of the car right so that it handles well and it performs exactly how it should. So moving on to the shock itself for the lift kit, I've got Top Rhino, as I've mentioned before. It's a 2-inch out of the box lift kit. It can be adjusted higher as well, but 2 inches safe. We don't want to go any higher than that on this vehicle. Now, the best thing about these, they're a foam cell and they're adjustable in height if you need it. But the other massive benefit is that they are damper adjustable as well. So you've got a huge range of damper adjustment from just reaching in and turning that adjustment knob. You can make the ride softer, you can make the ride harder. So depending on what you're doing, if you're doing some really sort of slow off-road crawl style stuff and you need more softness, more undulation, you can make it really nice and soft and supple. It obviously allows you to fine tune your on-road adjustment as well, which is where most people are going to find the advantage of this. If you are towing and doing other things, or you've got a lot of weight in the back, you can dial that damper up to make it firmer and stiffer so the back of the car isn't squatting as much as well. That will help with the overall ride. So the tunability is great. They're accessible by reaching your hand. If you turn your wheels out, you've got adjustment where you can just reach in, and you've got to count your clicks. So there'll be a click range, and you'll know that all the way anti-clockwise is as soft as it gets. You never want to run them all the way on soft. It's not good for the shock itself. And that's adjusting how much oil is coming through the bypass. So that's what changes that. So whether you're increasing the flow or decreasing the flow depends on that. So you want to find your softest point, your hardest point, and then your midpoint, and adjust from there. These ones will probably be running to start off around the 9 clicks towards, if you started all the way at anti-clockwise, 9 clicks towards clockwise. That seems to be a really good result for what we've done on all the other vehicles as well. When we fine-tune them on the Sharks, we get the best results out of that. We have had customers even run them down at around 6 clicks. So all the way soft, 6 clicks towards hard. It really comes down to a personal preference at that point as well. But the fact that you can adjust that is really, really good. Value for money is definitely there. These kits we're doing for around 3K or sometimes below 3K on a special installed. That includes the suspension, complete suspension kit, wheel alignment and installation by our professional mechanics as well. So value for money is definitely there. And we do run specials from time to time as well. So if you're interested in a kit, reach out and let us know. We've always got around 5 kits on the shelf ready to go. If you need a heavy duty option as well for the rear springs, so if you've got a constant load in the back, so we're not talking about you're towing and you're putting a 2-ton caravan on the back. We're talking about constant load when we talk about upgrading the weight of the spring. So basically, if you say, look, I carry 300 kilos, 400 kilos every single day in the back of this thing, you might have toolboxes in it, you might have other things that permanently live in the car. We can also do a heavy duty spring for the back as well. If you're talking about on a day-to-day basis, you drive around in a normal vehicle and you've got maybe a few things in the back, maybe you've got 100 kilos in the back, or you've got a roller shutter that weighs 50 kilos and another 100 kilos worth of load, you've got 150 in total. You'll just opt for the normal kit. So you don't need a heavy duty kit at all. If you're gonna then go and hook, say a caravan or a heavy boat or something on the back, and then you find that the back of the car squats down, what you actually need is airbags. So airbags are designed, they will live in the coil spring, and every time you tow and you put a heavy load on the back, you will air up those airbags to a certain PSI to make sure that the back of your car isn't squatting and stays nice and level, and you can level it out perfectly. That's the solution. A lot of people think that the option is, oh, I tow a 2-ton caravan or something heavy, I need a heavy duty spring. But day to day, I don't drive around with any weight on the car. It's not the case whatsoever, and you will make the car ride so much worse by putting a heavy duty spring in it for the 5% towing work that you do of a caravan every now and again. So make sure you make that right decision, and make sure if you're buying a lift kit, we will ask all these questions to make sure we get it right. We won't assume, we want to make sure. It's the same as if you're putting a bull bar on the front. You've obviously got some additional weight there, so there has to be a compromise there. It might be a matter of winding the shock up to take up additional rake in the front, but we ask all those questions. So if you're not buying a lift kit from us, and this applies to every single four-wheel drive, not just the Shark, make sure you are giving those people that information. If they're not asking you those questions and they're just selling you a lift kit, 9 out of 10 times you've already got a problem. It's not going to work out how you want it to work out. You're going to get a car back with the nose pitched down because they put a non-rated bull bar spring and you've got a bull bar on, or you got heaps of weight in the back and no one asked you if you needed a heavy duty rear or when you're towing and things like that. So no matter where you're shopping and no matter what ute it's for, make sure people are asking those questions, and be sure to discuss your setup with us and make sure that we get it right 100% the first time. So let's talk about the Method wheels that we've chosen for this build. This is the latest release from Method, the Method 709. Wheel fitment wise, we've gone with an 18x9 with a positive 12 offset. It is a bit more on the aggressive side for the Sharks, and if you've watched our wheel and fitment tire guide on one of our other YouTube videos, you'll see why. It will protrude a little bit, but we've got a solution for that as well. So why did we choose the Method wheel? Well, Method is the most premium wheel brand on the market. We've been selling Method wheels for 7 years here at Prestige Tyre and Auto, and not once have we ever seen a warranty claim come back, which is absolutely amazing. They've got a lifetime structural warranty and they are a high quality build wheel. Not only just that, they come from a race proven background, so all their race technology is put into their four-wheel drive wheels, which is fantastic. Not only do they look good, but they perform really well. And I'm going to get in and show you a few features of why we chose them and a bit of a unique function as well. So basically these 709s, they have aggressive looking bolts on the outside here. These are what you might call an imitation bead lock. So if you're not familiar, real bead lock wheels are generally only for competition use and they are not legal on the road. Most of the time the purpose of a bead lock wheel is to be able to run really low tire pressures off-road without the worry of your tire slipping off the bead and basically going flat on you, but they're only for competition use. They are not legal for the road because all the bolts need to be torqued and tensioned. And what you get with the 709 is the look of a bead lock wheel, but they've also integrated the bead grip technology. Now, bead grip technology acts like a bead lock. It stops your tire from slipping off the rim at low pressures. So we know that if we're gonna off-road this vehicle, that we can drop the tire pressures down super low. Like I'm talking around 8, sometimes even 6 PSI, without the worry of that tire coming off and getting stuck. So whether you get into a situation on a beach or in the mud or somewhere, you don't have to worry about it. The bead grip technology has you covered. The other reason that we chose these wheels, because this is a promo vehicle, we think it's quite cool that we'll be able to change the colored rings on the outside. So I'm gonna grab one of those colored rings and show you what I'm talking about. So this is Method's forged impact ring. Now the cool thing about this is it's gonna let you customize the look of your wheels. So we can run them like this out of the box, purely machine face finish, or we can add the forged impact ring on here as well. So this is going to change the look of the wheel. Now basically these bolts come out and we're going to show you what that looks like when we're fitting the tires. but these come in different colors as well. So we've opted with the black because I think it works nicely with the blue Shark, the machine wheel, and a black ring. It's pretty classic. It's going to look really nice. They've also got an anodized blue version and also an anodized red version as well. You can custom powder coat these down the track as well. So if I want to do something wild and I decide I want fluoro orange rings, we can also make that happen as well. The other added benefit, if you are off-road or if you have to manage to make contact with a gutter somehow and this cops the impact, the good thing is here, you can just purchase one of these and replace it. So that gets you away from any type of wheel repair or anything like that. They're pretty functional. There's quite a few different options from looks to actual practicality, which I like about it a lot. So that's why we've gone with that. And you can option these forged impact rings as well when you purchase your set of Method wheels. So we're going to show you what that looks like when we fit the tires up. So next up, we're going to talk Yokohama tires because that's what we're going to be wrapping those Method wheels up in. So I've got two tires in front of me here, and I'm going to explain what we did with the Shark first off and how we're going to be changing that to the G016. So why Yokohama tires? Well, they're a high quality Japanese tire. They're fantastic for on and off-road performance, and there's not really many compromises you need to make as far as using them for on or off-road. They're a great all-rounder, and I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of the pros and cons of both of these patterns here. We've got the G018, which is a freshly released tire, and the G016, which has been around for a few years now, but the technology is amazing. So starting off with the G018, we put these on the Shark on the factory standard wheels. So these are a 265/65/18, the same size as original. And just from putting these tires onto the Shark over the factory tires that it comes with, which is just the highway terrain, straight away there was an improved level of grip and stability as well. You can certainly feel it in the steering. Now these come in two different types. So this is a light truck version, and then there's your normal sort of load, which is similar to the highway tires as well. So the higher the load you go, the ride can become a little bit stiffer because it's a stronger carcass. These are the light truck version, and I actually think they improved the car so much more and made the car less springy, and it just felt so much better on the road. So overall, these were quiet, which is obviously very important, especially in a four-wheel drive or a ute like a Shark. Very, very important that you put a quiet tire on there. The car is so quiet. The last thing you want is something absolutely humming down the highway that's going to do your head in, especially if you're going on long trips and you're driving every single day. So the G018, we found that there was a slight increase in road noise, which is expected over a factory highway terrain tire. Nothing that you can't live with. And if you're not focusing on the noise itself, you're really not even going to notice that it's there. But very, very much expected from an all-terrain tire. Even at highway speeds of 110, very livable, very capable. Visually, this tire looks great. It's a huge upgrade from the HT that comes with the Shark. Sidewall design-wise, it's nice as well. In some sizes, you've got the white writing as well. If that's a thing and you like that, we had the white writing facing out on the Shark. I think it looks really good, especially when it's nice and clean. Or you've just got your normal black sidewall. So close up here on the sidewall, it is a bit of a softer sidewall design, but it matches with the tread pattern. This is not like your hardcore off-road tire. It can more than handle your fire trails, your beach driving, everything you can throw at it, but it's not an aggressive highway all-terrain tire. We think this was fantastic. This would suit, I would probably say, 70% of Shark owners. Moving on to the G016. So this is definitely more off-road focused, but I would probably say that the split is a 70-30. So 70% being on-road, 30% being off-road. We've been selling these for years and we get fantastic feedback. Mileage-wise, we obviously don't have a high kilometer Shark yet to give you some feedback on these. I've got one customer running around that's done about 15,000 already on a set. Very, very happy with them. Overall, the whole thing is great. On your usual sort of dual cab utes that are a little bit lighter than the Shark, we're sort of seeing with good rotations and pressure checks and alignment, we're seeing between 70 to 100,000 kilometers. 100,000 kilometers is sort of getting towards the end of their life. But that's for the people doing the mega Ks. So you know that when you're spending the money and you're investing in a good tire and you're investing in it for long term, you're not going to put it on and in 30,000 Ks, you're going to be out for money again. These perform all the way through their life. You get the absolute maximum out of them. So you get your best bang for buck. Now, the other thing that I'll quickly touch on is their road hazard protection warranty. Available on both the G018 and the G016. Yokohama's road hazard protection warranty means it's for on or off-road. So if you manage to destroy or damage one of these tires within the first 2 years, let's say you were off-road and you managed to stake the sidewall with a tree branch or something happened, Yokohama will replace that tire for you at no cost. After that period, providing it's above 50% tread life, after that period, they will pro-rata, so they will help out in some type of way. There's not many manufacturers on the market that are offering amazing warranties like that. So that gives you a bit of a peace of mind. When you're investing in a set of Yokohama tires, they have your back as well, which I think is fantastic. You know, if I managed to destroy one of these the first time I took it off-road, which in 7 years of selling these, I'm yet to see. But if I did, I know that this $400, $500 tire, whatever it may be, is completely covered. I'm not gonna have an out-of-pocket cost, which I think is a fantastic insurance. Now, moving on to this tire visually, there's two different sidewalls. This is what we would call, I guess, the softer sidewall. So as you can see through here, it's not as aggressive on this side. I would probably say 10% of customers go for this side. Over this side here, we have our more aggressive design, which also acts as a bit of traction off-road as well. When you're sort of in ruts and things like that, this is what I would say 90% of our customers choose. I think it looks the best, and that's the way that we'll be fitting them up on this Shark today as well. Moving on to the tread pattern itself, great looking tread pattern, very functional. And in between the tread blocks here, you have these small ridges, and these are actually stone ejectors. So as the tire flexes, it helps to push stones and rocks out, which is obviously a huge help on off-road, mud, whatever it may be. It helps push and eject it out of the tread. But even on-road, for your daily driving, if you've got rocks and stuff being stuck in your tread, they will be pushed out with these stone ejectors as well. So another great feature. Noise level-wise, compared to the G018, I expect these to be pretty much on par, if not a touch louder. But again, for the performance that you're getting out of this tire, you expect a tiny bit more road noise. But overall, I think this is still going to be very, very quiet, and I'll be getting a bit of feedback on that as well when we've got it on the road and we've done a few trips and things like that too. So one other huge advantage that is sometimes overlooked as well when just upgrading your tires, even if it's just on your stock wheels, is the fact that this tire is so much more puncture resistant than the factory highway terrain tires that come on the Shark. It seems to be a pretty common theme of people getting punctures very, very easily. They seem to be very, very soft. So if you're looking for even more benefits apart from handling, performance, off-road and on-road, definitely consider an all-terrain tire for puncture resistance. I think overall, if you want more aggressive tire, this is the one to go for. If you want to upgrade to a great all-terrain, this is the one to go for. And it just comes down to what you're using your vehicle for, and we can help you choose the right tire for you as well. So if you've got any questions, definitely reach out to us and decide on the right tire for you, and we can help you out there. All right, we're about to get the wheels and tires onto the Shark with a completed suspension. Now, with the wheel and tire fitment, as I mentioned before, it's an 18/9 positive 12 offset for the wheel, so it's a bit more poke, and the tire size is a 285/70/18. Now, because it's much larger in diameter, even though we have a lift, I want to make sure that it's not going to rub or touch. And we've modified quite a few Sharks with bigger tires as well. So what I'm going to do here is just give you a quick little rundown on what I'm going to do to create some more clearance in the front here. We can do this service for you if you want to put big wheels and tires on your Shark. It's not a problem. And essentially it's going to create more room. So your most common part of when the tire turns, where it's going to hit is roughly here. There's usually a Phillips head screw here. So we're going to create around approximately 2 inches of additional room forward. So I'm going to modify what's behind here. So as you can see, if you come in here, there's this large plastic nub, and then there's a lip that runs all the way along here. Now, once I get rid of that and I do a few other things, I re-drill some holes, I manipulate the plastics, I basically pull everything forward. It's going to get me around 1.5 to 2 inches, I'd say, of clearance at the front. So way less chance of the tire touching and rubbing here. You do have to pull the edge of the flare apart and do a few other things. There's a lot of different mounting screws and points that are hidden, but that's how I'm going to get myself about an extra 2 inches worth of room. Now, if you've got a bull bar or you're planning to put a bull bar on, you don't need to worry about this. You're not going to have this section of the bumper bar, so that makes your life so much easier. You don't have to worry about it. This car at the moment isn't getting a bull bar. It probably will be in the future, but for now we want it to form and have good function, and we don't want to be worrying about the tires rubbing every time we're doing a 3-point turn or when we take it off road and things like that. So I'm just going to do this as a precaution. It'll just help. All right, so all the trimming and cutting is done, and as you can see, super neat finish. You can barely tell anything was touched. the large winglet that sits down there as well, that gets trimmed off too. So that's the type of mods that we're talking about. Gain 2 inches worth of forward room and keeping it super neat. So now we're going to get the wheels and tires on, and we're going to get on the alignment machine. We've got the car up on the wheel alignment machine. Now, anytime you do any suspension work, it is 100% necessary to do a wheel alignment. When we pull everything apart and put it all back together, all the suspension geometry has changed and the alignment's out. So the rear of the car sometimes is towing out, towing in. So we need to square it all up. We need to check the cambers and make sure everything's perfectly aligned. So Mike's just ripping into the wheel alignment now. That's another thing, just a quick note. If you're going to a shop that can do a suspension lift, but not be able to offer you a wheel alignment in-house, it's always a red flag. So you don't want to just go to someone who's going to quickly do what they call a tow and go, which is try and make it drive as straight as possible, but not really worry about your tire wear. So here we're making sure that the tire wear is going to be good. We're making sure that the car is going to drive nice and straight as an arrow, exactly how it did out of the factory, but just with aftermarket suspension and bigger wheels and tires. So here we've got our complete underbody protection kit, also known as a UBP for short. So this is made out of T980 material, which is 3 times stronger than majority of the products on the market. There's even got reinforcement bars welded in like gussets to improve the strength. This entire kit runs longer than the factory one and even includes a cover for the rear motor. So this is especially important if you are going to be off-roading this car pretty hard. You want to make sure the rear motor is protected because there's nothing there from factory that's like this that's protected. So this full kit adds around 15 to 20 kilos of weight to the vehicle. It is quite heavy duty and really thick. It's a great addition if you plan on off-roading your Shark and you're worried about bottoming it out on rocks and other obstacles as well. All right guys, so we've finished up the underbody protection and now you get to see the car in its final form. And what an amazing transformation that it's made for this Shark. Not only is it more capable on and off-road situations, but it just looks so much better as well. You'll notice that we've also fitted a bunch of accessories on the back from KINETIQ as well, from a large tub rack, roller shutter, and a bunch of other things. Now you have to jump over to the KINETIQ 4x4 YouTube channel to check those out, and I will link that video in the description below so you can have a look at everything that we've done to this Shark from KINETIQ as well. So we're looking forward to putting this through its paces today. As you can see, we're out bush. The suspension has already made a huge difference in the way that the car rides on the road. So now we're going to see how it is off-road as well. We're expecting fantastic results. The top Rhino suspension is top quality. Paired with the Yokohama tires and method wheels, this really is a fantastic combination. So check out the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and anything BYD Shark related, make sure you come and see us at Prestige Tyre and Auto.